Arturo, how are you?
Getting you?
Good, thank you. Happy Easter, and your coach, Mr. Latif, how are you?
I'm very good. And yourself?
Good, thank you. So you guys are healthy and safe. I take it, doing pretty well.
Yes, yes.
I'm
It's
Yes.
glad
a
to. I'm
bit
glad.
hard, but it's fine.
I'm glad to hear that. I know these are very difficult times, so we do want to wish you a happy Easter from Team La Perla, and glad to hear you guys are both safe and healthy at this time. So thank you for taking the time to join us today. Um, So we have Arturo Gatti Jr., 11 years old, amateur boxer, 1-0, one knockout. As you can see, he's part of Ring 83 boxing gym. We have his coach, Mo Latif, the head coach over there, and you guys are based out of Montreal. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we appreciate your time. Like I said, thank you for joining us today. Um, so if we could start with Arturo first.
Yes.
Um, Tell us, where were you born, kind of your upbringing, and we'll go from there.
Well, I was born in Montreal.
Yeah, you were here in Montreal.
Yes, and yeah,
What year?
2008,
Okay.
September 9.
Okay. So you've spent all your time in Montreal up until this point.
Yes.
Okay, that's awesome. I've actually never been to Montreal. I'm actually from Rochester, New York. I don't know if you're familiar with Western New York. Um,
Okay. No, I've
that's
been to New York, but not sure exactly where. But it's cold in Montreal. It's
yeah,
cold.
yeah,
But,
big city, big city. I actually never been. So um, now you mentioned Arturo, you've been training in boxing for 3 years, but how did you get introduced to boxing? Um,
Well, as a small kid, like when I was like 6, 7 years old, I used to watch my father's fight with my mother, and I always liked it. And I used to have a coach that used to come to my house and used to train me. But and then I told my mom that I wanted to go to a gym, and then she found Ring 83. So and then I went there and I stayed there.
wow, okay, very cool. So were you playing other sports prior to boxing? Was this kind of something that obviously you saw your father's fights and you got excited, or was it like, man, I really want to get after this, and the other sports kind of went to the wayside?
Well, I was really excited.
So you got very excited to get the gloves on, and like you said, go ahead, coach. You can chime in anytime you'd like.
yeah, you asked him if he did other sports before, and
Yes, I did soccer. I do basketball. Like sometimes I play basketball, but now it's with this thing I can't play. I play basketball. I used to do tennis when I was younger. Yeah, I used to do capoeira. I already did jujitsu. I did taekwondo. I did a lot of sports. Yeah.
Wow, that's you have a wide array, man. You've done more than I actually wrestled when I was younger. I've only boxed very limitedly, and I love the sport. But man, you beat me. That's awesome. So share your experience as far as you said you. How did you arrive at Ring 83? How did it come to linking up with Coach Mo and kind of share with me at how you arrived essentially at Ring 83 boxing
My
gym?
mom, she Googled a gym and we found Ring 83. And yeah, she just brought me there and she
Wow.
liked it.
So share your experience, your first day walking in, and your first experience with your coach now.
Yes, so the first day it was like it was normal. I went there, I trained for my first time, the first time that I went to the gym. I did pads with Mo. Yeah, he learned me how to put my hand drops and everything. Yeah, it was really fun.
yeah,
And
it was his first time stepping in the boxing ring. What did you tell your mom after you stepped in the ring for the first time?
That I felt like my father.
that's amazing. So, Coach Mo, when you see Arturo Gatti Jr. walk in, and
Yeah.
did you know who he was? Did you? Um,
Yeah, physically it's not hard to know. You can see that he looks exactly like his dad. And like you said, he did so many sports before, so he's an athlete, and it was really easy to work with him. You can see that he has natural abilities, and yeah, think and he loves it. That's what makes it easier. It's always easier to be good at something when you love doing it. And yeah.
Definitely. So, Coach, we'll stick with you. As far as your background, could you share with us a little bit? Is your introduction into boxing, or kind of your upbringing?
Well, I started boxing really young too, and I did some competition, amateur fights. I never turned pro, and I never planned to be a coach. It wasn't planned. It wasn't something that I wanted to do. But after I stopped competing, I was still going to the gyms, just to stay in shape. And there was always little kids. I used to help them, and some of them they were really good. They wanted to compete, and I started just by helping kids. And today I'm the head coach, and yeah, it's my gym now, and I train around 15 amateur fighters, and I have one pro fighter. I only started training 6 years ago, 6, 7 years ago.
Okay.
So I'm still new as a trainer, but it's doing very good, and it's I love the sport, and yeah, it's something that I love doing, and yeah, I don't see myself doing something else now, other than being a boxing coach or being in
Wow.
this.
That's amazing. Go ahead, Arturo. Were you going to chime in, buddy?
No, I just see hearts here.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
people like that.
people are really enjoying the seeing you guys in the interview and sharing about your story. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, no,
So
we really love the sport. I really love boxing. I've been watching boxing since I'm a kid, and watch all the fighters. A lot of fighters from Puerto Rico too. Wilfred Benitez
yeah,
and Miguel Coro. Yeah, so I love the sport, so that's why I think I'm still in it. Yeah.
before Cotto was Arturo was my favorite fighter. So transitioning over people's careers is also tough too. Someone's career comes to an end and you transition. You say, and it went from
Yeah,
Cotto to Golovkin, and it's just funny where boxing will take you
that's true. Yeah,
as far
yeah.
as being a fan, learning more about other cultures. I'm big on that, and I've never been to Montreal. I'd like to go. So hopefully one day I can stop by your guys' boxing gym. I would look forward to doing that.
Yes, you're welcome. Yeah, Montreal is big. In Quebec, Montreal, in Canada, Montreal is the biggest boxing city. We have, I think you already know, we had a lot of world champions, and yeah, it's kind of big boxing here. And yeah, there's not many sports. We don't have a basketball team. We don't have a baseball team anymore. So it's really hockey and boxing. I think it's the two biggest sports in the city. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. So we'll switch back over to Arturo. What your first interaction with teammates at the gym? So you said you got there, you trained the first day. You and Mo connected quickly. You're a very gifted natural athlete. What's your interaction with your first day walking in, meeting other people, obviously in there, and what's kind of been your experience thus far?
Well, when I got there, there was a kid that was there. His name is Omar. Now he's like my friend in the gym. It was the first time that I seen him. There was Omar, his friend Habib. There was like a lot of people, but they were all older than me. So I was like the young. Yeah, now I'm the youngest. That like goes every day and trains, and yeah, it's good to see other people, and yeah, it's fun.
So it sounds like you have they're older, but you have a good friendship with your teammates
Yes.
up until this point. That's awesome, man. So Ring 83, real quick, Coach, going back to you, is that's owned by Russ Amber?
Yes, it was previously owned by Ross Amber. Now I'm the president of the gym,
Okay.
but yeah, he's the one who founded the gym in 1983, and yeah, he's the best trainer. Russ is the best trainer out of Canada. He's also a great cutman. He's very known worldwide. He
Yeah.
works with a lot of big names, Lomachenko, Usyk. Yeah, so Jean Pascal too. He worked with him. So yeah, he worked with a lot of world champion. He's very known, and yeah, I was very lucky to be able to learn boxing from him, and I think that's why one of the reasons why I'm successful. He's a very good, boxing mind. He knows everything, and he works with. He's in the corner also with my pro fighter, so
Okay.
he's always there to help. And yeah, it's amazing. A lot of experience, and
Yeah, and I'm bringing that up because I've actually had the opportunity to meet Russ and work a couple fights with him. I'm not a trainer. I obviously I'm part of Team La Perla. I'm not a pro boxer. I kind of deal with their community relations. So I work for the state of Florida Boxing Commission. So I've been able to work corners actually with Russ, with Roy Jones Jr., Malik
Yeah,
Scott, and true professional, and a mind that's beyond a boxing mind that I've beyond anything I've ever met
yeah,
as a person. So truly a great guy. And speaking of Russ and Pascal, who I grew up obviously watching and still going at it, very impressive. He's actually trained at Team La Perla, our boxing gym in La
yeah.
Perla.
Nice.
So
Okay, cool.
he's good friends with Gabriel. He's trained there a few times. He came out for the amateur tournament we had a few months back. So that was a big blessing, and we're thankful for that. So it's a smaller world than we think.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Arturo, I'll ask you this. What has been your greatest challenge thus far in your boxing amateur career? Just transitioning from learning how to box to your first amateur bout and completing that. Obviously, you got a first round KO. Congratulations. Um, what's been your toughest challenge thus far, you would say?
Well, in boxing, until now, I don't have a lot of challenge. But like when I started, Mo always told me to keep my hands up. And before my fight, we used to train a lot defense, and that was my biggest challenge until now.
So, who would you say is when you're addressing that? Do you go and watch other fighters, or what are you really? What are you going to do moving forward, Coach Mo, to work on that? I guess and that challenge that you see.
Well, I'm not sure.
Coach, so he's saying like hands up, defense. Do you guys
Yeah.
watch other fighters? Do you?
Yeah, well, he watches a lot of boxing. He watched
Okay.
obviously his dad. He watched a lot of clips of his dad, a lot of Mayweather's and Fenty Davis, and you know most of these guys they fight with their hands down or they do the shoulder roll. So it's really
Yeah.
hard because every kids once they come in the boxing gym, they think it's so easy. They think they can start shoulder rolling and you know, but it's always you always have to learn the basics first, right? Both hands up, a good boxing stance. You know, move your head, move your feet first. So for sure, it's hard because they all want to be fancy. They all want to, you know, do a bit of show. But he learned pretty quickly to keep his hands up, and that's what amazed me the most during the fight. It's more of his control, even though it wasn't that long. His control, he had his hands up. You know, he didn't throw the first punch. He moved around, blocked a few punches, and
Mhm.
then started attacking. And we already knew that for his age, he punches pretty hard. So I knew
Okay.
that once he hit his opponent, I knew that it was gonna be over. He wasn't gonna be able to block the punches, or you know, yeah, he would have got hurt, and we were expecting that. But yeah, I was most amazed by his defense and his control. He was calm. He didn't rush. He took his time, and when he saw the opportunity, then he started throwing punches, and he stopped the fight. It was pretty good.
Yeah, I watched it the other day. That was impressive, man. You got very aggressive and you went after it. So congratulations on the victory. So Arturo, what's been your most? We asked what your greatest challenge as far in learning over the last few years. What's been the most rewarding part of being a boxer? What would you say you enjoy the most about boxing?
What I enjoy the most, punching and like just doing boxing. It's really like my passion and everything.
Do you like to spar? Do you like the training aspect of the workouts? What's your favorite between those? You would think.
Mm.
You like to spar?
Yes.
What's the biggest, the heaviest guy you've sparred thus far? Have you gotten in
Um,
there with someone that's a lot taller or someone? I saw you guys yesterday. You were going at it and obviously
um,
having fun. But I'm saying when you've put the gloves on and sparred, what's the tallest or heaviest person you've gone at it with?
avec Luc Joe, c'est frappé,
Yeah, I think I am. Well, for the first time, we'll put the glove for the first time since, you know, of the coronavirus.
Okay.
Nobody's coming to the gym. So yeah, they're not yeah, so he's not able to spar with other kids, but since we see each other very often, we put the gloves just for fun. But yeah, he's the youngest kid at the gym, so there's not a lot
Okay.
of guys his size. We had two other kids of his age, but they weren't, they couldn't, they weren't able to spar with him.
Mm,
Arturo, yeah, it's hard for kids to control themselves. They always want to go hard, so that's
yeah.
why I put him with bigger guys. And yeah, so he spars, older guys, bigger guys, and I think it's better because it's harder. When sparring is harder, the fight is always easier, right?
Yep.
So yeah, that's uh, that's about it. Yeah.
Awesome. So, Arturo, tell me about your experience with your first amateur fight. How are you feeling going into it, kind of during and after? What are all your emotions and feelings? Um,
Well, before the fight, I was a little stressed because it was my first fight, and when I saw my opponent and like when he just threw the first punch, I was like I was confident.
so you saw him throw his first punch, and you said, you know what, I'm going to take over. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So, Coach, talk about your relationship with Arturo, his strongest attributes, as well as his work ethic. If you could talk to us a little bit about that and your relationship with him.
Well, my relationship with him is the same as all the kids that comes to the gym. We're pretty close. It's pretty like a family vibe gym. We're all
Okay.
close to each other. I'm the only trainer there, so it's not. I don't have a lot of fighters coming,
Mm-hmm.
and most of the kids that comes, they compete. So we all know each other. We're all pretty close to each other. It's not really a big gym. We don't do a lot. We don't do fitness boxing. It's only for the kids, for competitors, and so yeah, we're pretty close to each other. So. And yeah, Arturo was the same as the other kid. We're all family, and we enjoy training with each other. We see each other outside the gym also. We do a lot of activities. For birthdays, we go like for his last birthday, we went paintball and
Oh,
with the
nice.
whole team. Yeah,
Awesome.
so and we go to restaurant together. We watch fights together. When there are big event, we watched it together. Last fight we watched was
Jean Pascal versus.
no, was Wilder against
Fury.
Tyson
Oh yeah,
Fury.
Yeah, that was a big one. That was a big one.
Yeah. So yeah,
That's
exactly.
awesome.
We almost do everything together, so that's why we're close to each other. And yeah, we have a strong bond, and it's pretty good.
Awesome. So, and I know we're going back and forth ping pong here. I hope you guys are following.
No,
I hope that's okay with you.
no
Um,
worries.
Arturo, so what did you take away from your first amateur fight? What did you take away from it? What did you learn from it? I know it was very quick, so I don't know how much you really took from it, but in your mind, what did you see from that experience in your first amateur fight?
well, it was too fast. Maybe j'ai rien appris moi.
Yeah, well, the stress for sure.
Yeah.
Now, since you lived the experience for the first time, he was supposed to fight his second fight in April 24th, but since of the virus, it got canceled,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But yeah, first fight was pretty quick, and I was expecting, I don't know, like you said, you saw the fight. I was expecting him to be a lot stressed, more stressed than that. But once he got in the ring, he was
He's a natural. You felt natural, like you're supposed to be there.
exactly. And
That's awesome.
I made sure that his best friend of the gym, Omar, who's a pretty talented boxer too, I made sure that he fights before him, so he's able to see him and
Oh yeah.
get more confidence for his fight. And since Omar also knocked his opponent in the first round, I think it boosted Arturo, and yeah, and he did. They both won by first round knockout and by TKO, and it was a pretty good day. And
Wow. Yeah, and I think a lot of people overlook that. So the pressure and the stress before the fight and the waiting period, and then you finally walk out and you're hearing people and all that into one. That's a lot. So that's definitely huge. Now you got over that hump and you can do it again.
exactly.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So
But yeah,
Arturo, go ahead. I'm sorry, Coach.
since the first day he came to the gym, he was always asking, "When's my first fight? When's my first fight?" He always wanted to do it. He always wanted to fight. And since in Quebec you have to be 11 years old to be able to do an official bout, Yeah, he had to wait 2 years, and it was, I think, just a bit before Christmas, no? Your first fight?
Yes.
Yeah, so it was a Christmas gift for him.
Wow,
He was able to fight his first fight.
that's awesome. So Arturo, share with us who you are outside of the ring. I know you focus a lot on boxing. What are your passions outside? I know you love boxing. What else are you passionate outside of the ring? Or
I
some
like
passion?
drawing. I like drawing. I like painting. I like arts. Anything that does with art. I like these things. I like to play like any games with my friends. I like to, yeah, anything.
So, as far as your family and your faith, um, it's Easter. If you'd like to share about that, you're more than you and Coach Mo can share about that. Your family, obviously, Arturo. If you want to share about your family, do you have any siblings? Um,
Um, yes. I live with my mother
okay,
and my family. They live in Brazil. My grandmother lives in United States, and my grandfather he lives in Brazil too.
okay. So you've traveled. I see. Obviously, you've traveled a lot. Is that something else you really enjoy doing in your
Yes.
downtime? Coach Mo, have you joined them traveling? I've seen obviously Arturo's travel a lot. Have you had
Yeah,
the
no,
opportunity to travel with them?
that's right. No, I didn't travel. Well, for competitions, yeah, we've been to Quebec City, to
Toronto.
Toronto,
Okay.
but it was mostly for competition. They went to Dubai, I think, a month ago, and I would
Wow.
love to go, but my pro fighter was supposed to fight in March, and it got canceled too because of the virus.
Oh
And
man,
yeah, so no, we never traveled together, some other than for boxing competition, but yeah, it's we see each other almost every day at the gym, so it's yeah, it's good.
that's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's
So
fun.
Arturo's been able to travel a lot. That's awesome, man. I've seen some
Yeah,
of your pictures on social media, and it looks like you had a really
yeah.
good time.
He learned a few Arabic words over there. Yeah, and he already knows 5 languages, 4 or 5 languages. So yeah,
Wow,
it's good for him that he travels. Yeah, he's lucky, and that's good for him.
that's awesome. That's awesome. So share with me, Arturo. I saw you recently did a giveaway with the Roots of Fight with the picture of your father, and that was a giveaway you did for the community. Also share, and I've seen you also donate to underprivileged people money. I've seen you guys do this. Share with you and your coach can share about this, your involvement in the community and what you were doing with Ring Eight Roots of Fight. I'm sorry, you could
Yes.
if you could share what you guys were doing with that. I know you did the giveaway, so if you want to share with
Yes.
others about that.
We received shirts of my father from Roots of Fight. They do like shirts of a lot of good fighters, like legends like Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, Mickey Ward, my father, like things like that. And they always send some clothing that they do before selling them on the internet. So and then we received some shirts, and for the giveaway, we give a shirt with a signed magazine that I was on the cover. And yeah, when we give money to homeless, it's just to make them happy with this thing, this yeah coronavirus.
That's awesome, man. That shows a lot of your character. So you should
Yeah,
be
he has
very
a big
proud.
heart.
Should be very
He has
proud
a
of
big
yourself.
heart. Yeah, he has
That's
a big
awesome.
heart. He's been raised very well, and he came up with the idea for the Roots of Fight giveaway. And yeah, he's for a young kid, it's amazing.
It
He's
is.
such
It
a
is.
good kid, and he always wants to help others. And he always bring gifts to the kids at the gym. He gives us shirts too. I think I have a 20 shirts. I have 20 t-shirts of Arturo Gatti. I don't have time to wear them all. But yeah,
That's awesome, man.
he's such good-hearted, and yeah, his mom, she really raised him real well. He goes to church every Sunday, and
That's
yeah,
awesome,
he's a
man.
pretty good kid.
We'll have to have you guys out to the gym in Puerto Rico, and Pascal comes, or you come on your own. You know, we do
Yeah, that's
events in
true.
the community as well in La Perla. So,
He did his last. Yeah, he did his last camp in Puerto Rico. That's true.
yeah, that was
Yeah,
at our gym,
he never been to Puerto Rico. No, he never been.
hey, you got
One
as much
day.
as you travel, you got to come, man. Now you know someone there, and you got the gym, so you guys are
I
more
know
than welcome.
there was the hurricane, right? Not long ago.
Yeah, in 2017 Hurricane Maria. Yeah,
2017. And
yeah.
it's getting better now. It's good, or
Things are changing. Yeah,
okay.
you'd be able to come and visit, and you're more than welcome to come to the gym. Like I
Thank you.
said, we'd love to have you, and we do a lot of community involvement, community initiative work in our own community, as well as other areas,
Nice.
from the western part to the southern part of the island. So yeah, that'd be awesome. Maybe you can join us sometime.
Yes, one day for sure.
Yeah, that
Or
would be
maybe
awesome.
we never know.
Yeah,
Is there a lot of boxing? I guess so. There's a lot of
yeah.
good.
There's events. There's events that go on throughout the island. Um,
Yeah,
so well, maybe in
most
the
of
future.
most of yeah most of Puerto Rican fighters they move to the States, right? I guess.
Yeah, a lot of them do. A lot of them end up moving stateside. We say the mainland, for a little bit more opportunities. But there's plenty of boxers and there's plenty of gyms. So
Which Puerto Rican now is a good? He's doing good because since Colo,
we don't have a current world champion,
no,
unfortunately.
that
The la-
last one was Coro, right?
well, we had Emmanuel Rodriguez at bantamweight, but he lost to Inao in the World Boxing Super Series.
Yeah, that's
He
true.
he, he lost the title, so he was a champion, I believe, IBF at 100 at bantamweight. So
Nice.
that was the last champion. We have a couple prospects coming up.
Bantamweight. Ivan Calderon was bantamweight too, right?
Ivan Calderon's a good buddy of mine. Great guy.
Yeah, really.
He's a
Nice.
great guy. Yeah, he actually started at 105 and then worked his way up, I believe. He
Yeah.
was pretty small, so he worked his way
Yeah,
up.
yeah, I see. That's true.
And as we know, Cotto was the only four division champion.
That's
The only
true, yeah.
Puerto Rican to ever do that.
That's true. Yeah.
There's a couple prospects right now. We have Xander Reyes, who's in Florida, actually. Up and coming young fighter. I want to say he's at welterweight. I could be wrong. And then there's Carlos Berlanga, a middleweight at 160. These are two young guys that are more prospects.
Nice.
But yeah, unfortunately, right now in Puerto Rico, no current world champion. So kind of a low point, but that's okay. There's better days ahead, like they say, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna come back. Mexican weekends, always big fights.
Yeah, man, definitely. So Arturo, I'd like to ask you a couple fast facts as I put them. You visit a lot of places. Where is one place that you've always thought about going to and you have yet to go?
My favorite places that I went was Las Vegas and Dubai.
Okay. What is one place that you've wanted to go and you have yet to visit?
Dubai.
No,
What
you bet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's your place that you never been.
Um,
That's a hard place.
That's a tough one, right?
All over the place.
Well, you said Puerto Rico, right? You've always wanted to visit, but you've never been, right?
yeah,
So-
we'll be,
Puerto Rico.
I'm okay with
talked
that
about-
one, as long as you're okay with that one.
He talked about Africa too.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I talked to Mark, who's actually another boxer, earlier today. Mark Reyes out of Tampa, Florida, Puerto Rican boxer, and he actually said Africa. So
Yeah, man.
that's awesome, man. I've never been myself. So what's your favorite food?
meat or salad, or chicken. Yeah.
You gotta get that protein. That's awesome, man. So if you could tell me something that most people don't know about you, what would it be?
That you paint.
Então não sei, esposa da
That's a tough one. But you talked about painting, right? You talked about painting. So you're an artist, essentially. I think a lot of people probably wouldn't know that. Following your Instagram, might say, oh, he's just a boxer. So no, you obviously have other passions and things you like to do outside of the ring. So painting, probably one that.
He's good at chess too. Yeah, we played chess. He's pretty good.
Oh, wow.
He's a good chess player. Yeah, for his
Wow.
age.
Yeah.
Yeah, he beat me once. Pretty good, yeah, chess player. It's amazing to see kids playing chess. I used to play chess too when I was younger, and
Mhm.
yeah, it's pretty good.
And play cards.
Yeah, I play cards too.
That's awesome. So, as far as you coach, and then we'll wrap up a little bit after that. What's somewhere you want to visit that you've never been?
Visit. Well, for sure, a city. I would say Madison Square Garden. I've never been to
Oh man,
an event. For sure, I know all the legends that fought there: Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Robinson. So for sure, I would. I'd hope that one of my fighter fights there one day.
yeah.
And yeah, I've been to Europe, a few countries in Europe. I love Europe a lot. And Africa, I've been to North of Africa. My
Okay.
sister lives there, so
Oh wow.
Dubai. Arturo talked to me about Dubai. He said it was amazing. He did
Yeah.
so many activities. So that's for sure one day. And I have some family there, so for sure I would like to visit there. And yeah,
Awesome. And your favorite food, Coach?
my favorite food, lasagna for sure.
Oh
Oh,
man,
I love lasagna.
that's my favorite too. So
Yeah, nice.
definitely,
Garfield.
definitely, man.
I
Chicken
used to
parm
watch
too.
Garfield.
Chicken
yeah.
parmesan.
Yeah, nice.
Chicken
Yeah,
parmesan's pretty good.
yeah, I love Italian food.
Yeah. So what's something that most people don't know about you, Coach? And then we'll wrap up with Arturo
Oh,
as well at the end here.
man, that's a good question.
Garage.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I like
Oh,
shooting.
yeah.
I have my firearm license, so I go
Okay.
shooting. I took Arturo for his birthday. He wasn't allowed for his 10th birthday. He wasn't allowed to go pinball because it was too small. So I took him to shoot real bullets and with
Oh
real.
man,
Yeah,
sounds like a
so
fun experience.
yeah, that's one thing that I like. Other than that, I'm a simple guy. Goes to the train kids. That's it. Boxing.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, when everything clears up, God willing, moving forward, when you go to Madison Square Garden one day, I'd love to join you. I've been there many times, many Kodo fights. My
I
first
promise
fight
you.
was
It's fun.
2006. So
Really,
Zab
Arturo
Judah
already.
with Zab Judah in
Not Judah, yeah.
in the 11th
But
round TKO.
he fought Malignaggi, no? Before that, at Madison Square Garden.
Did he
I think
fight
so.
Paulie
Paul
prior to that?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
might,
Pryor.
yes, it might have been before. I didn't go to that one.
Yeah. But it was at Madison Square Garden, I'm pretty sure, no?
Yeah, the Zab
Yeah,
Judah one was.
Puerto Rican are big in New York because I guess the community is big. Yeah, there's a lot
Yes.
of Puerto Ricans in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, Madison Square Garden. Look what he has. It's crazy. I don't know if you can see it. That's the
Yeah,
ticket
Roy
of
Jones Jr. over Trinidad.
yeah,
Wow, that's
Madison Square
amazing.
Garden.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. I love and I save all mine too. So I got
Like,
to. That's awesome, man. I actually got to work. I met Roy. He lives in Florida, so I've worked. He's in a promotion company now. He has a promotional company, so I've had the honor to work with him and Russ about 4 years
yeah,
ago. He
yeah,
was still actually fighting on his own promoted cards in
yeah.
Pensacola. So I had the honor. That's a legend, man. That's awesome. I appreciate you guys sharing that. I save all mine, so my
That's
ticket stubs. I saw him fight Yuri Foreman in Yankee Stadium. Miguel Cotto as well when he fought
yeah.
Joshua Cloudy in 2009.
That's true. Yeah, he mostly fought
In
in the
the,
Madison Square Garden.
that was his
Even
home.
against Canelo, no? Was it in New York?
No,
Yeah,
Canelo was in the West Coast.
in the West
I
Coast.
want to say it was in he fought Canelo in Vegas. I want to say I could be
Yeah.
wrong. Or it was in California, one or the other.
Yeah.
So, well, I appreciate your guys' time. I really appreciate all of you sharing some of your life, obviously outside of the ring, and sharing your stories. Arturo, if I was to ask you, what would you like to say to people now, fans, followers, and incorporate that with what's going on in the world right now? What would you like to say to everyone?
Well, be safe and yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And Coach, what would you like to say to everyone?
Yeah, I know it's hard. It's hard for my fighters. They all want to train, they all want to fight, they all want to compete. Yeah, it's hard. No competition, no boxing. It's really hard for us because they're all active people. They like to do sports. So yeah, it's hard to stay at home. But yeah, just be safe, train hard, and when it's over, we have to get back to it. And
Definitely. Well, well, hey, I really appreciate your guys' time today. Arturo, you're an inspiration to many people. I want you to know that, and Coach Mo, you as well. And I want you guys to continue working your best and showing the great heart that this young man has.
Thank you. Thanks a
So,
lot. And thanks for inviting us. And
yeah,
well, yeah, one day hopefully we'll come to Puerto Rico and see you
definitely.
guys. Or if one of my fighter fights at Madison Square Garden, I won't forget about you for sure.
Definitely,
Hopefully
definitely.
it's gonna be Arturo for sure.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. Arturo, it's been a pleasure. I appreciate your time. Coach, I appreciate your time. You guys have a happy Easter and continue to be safe, okay?
Same to you. Be safe.
All right, guys. Thank you.